Brought the 67 over. Real quick. We're gonna throw a tack weld. These old squeakers, these old type, a lot of the new clamps are terrible. So I'm just gonna throw a little weld on there and it's gonna burn through that rust. Throw a little tack weld here on both sides of the clamp on both of these, and then so I'm gonna do that real quick. Got the welder out. We got the 4th hubcap donation from Rick, and Dale picked it up, brought it over. We polished it and put it back on. We actually painted the spare tire, so we'll probably give it a quick wash. We'll let you guys watch a little bit and check out what we're doing. So we're checking out the carburetor, and one of the little tips we know for doing this, I mean, there's a check ball down inside here, okay, inside that little chamber, and every once in a while, it's very, very rare that we run into that gets stuck in there and you can't get it loose. And so brake parts later. So anyway, what we do is, if you take the perfect screw is the taillight screw. So if you take your normal tail, if you have like a 60s car, late 60s car, the taillight screw is exactly the right length. Sometimes it's already threaded inside this hole, but you kind of start the threads in, and then because it's a taillight screw, their length is perfect, it's nice and long, you grab it with some like dikes, the outside of it, and then just pull it out, and then you can get this little ball out and clean out the cavity. It doesn't happen very often, but if you have an accelerator pump that's not working, sometimes that's a way to fix it. So we're fixing that on this. This is another Solex. This is not the Weber that was on the car. Those factory replacement Webers are a different game, so we didn't want to get into that. It's much easier for us to do something you worked on before. So that's how you fix the check ball in your carburetor for your accelerator pump. So we're all hooked up here. We're gonna go ahead and run the timing on this thing. Let's see if we can get it to fire. It's gonna, wait, we got fuel line off. Hang on, I forgot to put it on. Well, hang on a second. We'll get this on here, and then we'll, yeah, we would have had fuel everywhere. Hang on one second, we'll get back to this. All right, you guys, we got you in the video here again. So we got it ready to start. I'm gonna give it a little cranky. Way too far retarded, isn't it? Yeah, it is. All right, try it now. Go too far. Hold on. Oh, God. Okay, go ahead. Where the heck do we have it? Hang on. Let's see. Yeah. Oh yeah, you know it could be they just dropped distributor drive backwards. We didn't check it. Yeah. Let's see. We gotta check the distributor drive. It seems like it's 180 out. It should have started right now. All right. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna pause it a second to check the distributor, because sometimes people with the distributor drive in, it's got to be in the correct place. If it's in the wrong place, it's not good. Because especially when you had the old number 3 retarded, because it would make the wrong cylinder retarded, and that didn't help anything. So that's why they have it the correct place for the distributor to be dropped. Right, so the way you always want to check that is by pulling the valve cover off. So we went ahead and got her back to time here. Made sure that our number 1 is lined up. That's number 1, yeah. Number 1 is lined up with this top dead center, and the valves are in the right place. That's how you usually check it. We just didn't get a chance to do that. We just dropped it in and check it. That's why I always say to normally, if you're just taking out your distributor to do your points, that's why I always say undo that bolt in the back and leave this clamp alone, because then you're not fighting this kind of thing. Ready for the magic. Still retarded sound in there. I advanced it up a little bit. Go ahead. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and check the timing. So let's see where it's at idle. Got it at 0 right now, so where we at? Retarded still? There we go. We're going to tune this thing up a little bit. We'll go ahead and we'll tighten up. Now we're going to go ahead and tighten up the distributor. We left it loose before because we knew we were going to have to change out the distributor. Let you guys watch a little bit. Check it out. Yeah. All right, so this guy here, we noticed, first thing I did, I went to open up the idle, I started to turn the screw out. So you turn it out till it starts to run rough, then you turn it back in normally if everything's right. But if this part right here is, I think the jet, somebody's played with this and opened it way, God, it's huge. Open it way up, then you either have to replace it, you can put a regular idle jet back in it, or you can put another solenoid in. The solenoids are nice for when you know, for it not to anti-diesel, so it helps, you know. But if you kind of let your clutch out, what's in gear, that helps to make it not do that too.
It's a 55.
You gonna put a jet in there, 55?
Yeah, it's a 55 on there. We'll see how that.
So we'll see how this runs again. Maybe I can fire it up again, and then I'm gonna see if I can readjust the idle. But yeah, what was happening is I was taking it from dead stopped all the way. As soon as I start to open it, it wanted to run better when it was completely closed. So in other words, this was way too rich, whatever they have here.
Okay.
What's that?
It's working.
It is?
Well, you tightened it down.
No, as soon as I started to open it up again, it starts stumbling.
All right, we'll check it.
Again, you turn it, I don't know if I said it backwards, you turn it out until the idle starts to normalize, and then you turn it in until it starts to stumble a little bit, and you back it out until it doesn't stumble, and usually I go an additional quarter turn after that to set your idle jet. Now it sounds smooth. So we were just checking our tack and dwell real quick. On this thing, you know, on these CompuFires or the pointless ignitions, you know, the dwell's at like 25, which is really extremely low. Normally, your dwell would be at 45 on a VW, and that's about the right place. So I usually, that's why I say whenever I tell somebody, listen, you know, if you're doing your points, take your distributor out, put it back in the same place, and then set your dwell, and usually your timing's right on if you keep your dwell in the right place, and that's just your point gap. So it's easier, you know, some people just go by the 16 thousandths gap on your points. But if you actually use a dwell meter, it's actually more accurate, especially if you have a little burr on your points or something like that. But yeah, this thing's running really good. If you didn't notice, that how smooth the idle is. In comparison to a stock distributor, like if you run a regular points distributor, you're going to have that retarded third, and you'll notice that this thing doesn't have any lopey idle. It's very, very smooth, and that's one of the things you can improve. And you know, as long as you're aware of how hot your engine is, usually you don't have to be worried too much about that number 3 being retarded. That's for people that just are completely ignorant about their engine. So if you're really conscientious about your engine running hot, you know, potentially, and checking it all the time by flooring it every once in a while, seeing if it's pinging, and then slowing down a little bit on the freeway if it is, you know, and those sort of things. We did have a 130 main jet in here, so we checked that. We'll make sure that that was right. We changed the idle circuit because it was completely, you know, it was way too big, and took that out, and you can see how it just runs really good now. So we're going to give it back to her. Now we feel it's a driver now. The car's actually pretty much ready to go. The only thing in it that's a little iffy is the gas gauge. And what else was there? I think we were going to look at the horn maybe. We were going to just take a quick look at the horn. It's always nice to have a horn when you have a VW because it seems like everybody wants to cut you off. These should be filled too. Maybe we'll put some foil tape over those. There's an extra hole there I don't like. I don't know what that one's from. What is that? What is that hole from on the 67? Is that homemade?
I'm not sure on that one.
No, I don't know either. Anybody comment on that? We'd like to hear. Anyway, but yeah, that additional hole back down here. We know these are for the preheat tubes because it has a dual heat preheat
They had
tube.
that Baja cooler or something here one time.
Oh, and then they have another hole back there that's not good, you know, in the back. That won't really hurt anything. Well, that lets a little bit of cooler air in, and usually when you're going down the road, even though it's not really designed that way, it does work. But yeah, we'll go ahead and maybe fill these up with some foil tape, and then we'll maybe take a quick look at the horn. If it's something simple, maybe we'll fix it. We'll take a look at that. We'll just put you guys on hold here for a minute. Actually, we were just checking the brakes. We went ahead and readjusted them, but we found out the push rod is a little bit too loose. You do need some play in that on the push rod for the Brake Master. About an 1/8 inch of play. You don't want too much, but you definitely want to make sure it has the right amount of play. But I think they put a little bit too much in. It's better probably to have too much than not enough, because then if it doesn't have enough, that's a real problem. But if it's too much, then it should be adjusted so that your pedal's up nice and high. You know, we're going to take a look at this horn in a second. So we were just checking the horn circuit. We saw that there was power to the one side. For some reason, it hooked up under switch power. It's kind of weird. Usually they're always hot. Them, the brake lights. We're going to take a look at that in a minute. All right, let's see if we got a little bit of. I'll hook up. Oh shoot, I forget which one was hot. Better test it again. That one right there. The one on the bottom. Yep. Yeah, it should be. I think that's what it was. Yeah, it got hot there. Let's see if the horn works. See if it goes. That'll be fun. See if we get a beep out of this thing. That's too short. So, I don't know if I can get enough of a connection on there. I think the horn is dead. I don't know. Yeah. I think the horn itself is no good. We have to check the power probe on there, and then actually check the ground with you switching it. So then if it is, then the horn's just dead. Take it apart, repair it, do that later. Hook that up, you got a positive and negative on it. Hang on, let me turn this off. Okay.
Ignition.
So what we're going to use now is we're going to use the power probe to actually give synthetic ground. We actually need to push the button and check the ground, check to see if it's grounding inside, because it might just be the horn that's bad. That's up there.
Nope.
The horn?
It's bad. Like I say, I got full.
Okay. Let me check. Let me push the button. If I can reach it. You check the ground circuit?
Nothing. Oh, the wires.
Oh, the wire's disconnected up there. Ha, that would help. Okay, we'll have to hook up the wire and then check the ground. Okay, so we're just going to test this part of the circuit. I'm grounded to the column.
Yeah, signal.
It goes when you do that?
Yeah, it's a signal. It's showing that it's.
Is it getting a grounding signal when I do that?
Are you good? Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah, so
The horn works, or the wiring's good.
the wiring's okay. We just need to
Replace the horn.
just replace the horn itself. That's all that's wrong. Pretty amazing. It's just normal stuff. I mean, well, we don't know. Let me see if I can. Let me hold this on here. Let me. I'm gonna actually hold it on while I hold it on the horn button on the contact. Hang on, let me move over here. All right, so let's try it again. Okay, hold on the contact. Push the button.
Nothing.
Is it on? It's probably just the contact ring. You know, it needs to be taken apart and sanded and put back together.
You ground the wire out just on the column? Alright, we're good. That's all that blip.
But now, when I do it this way, nada, right? Yeah, so it's just a bad contact in the horn. It should be just behind here. There's a contact ring. Take these three things off. Yeah, it's probably just needs to be sanded around there, and that's it. And then the horn needs to be rebuilt, probably. Take it apart. Sometimes they're a little more difficult than others to rebuild, but you can always rebuild the horns. It just takes a little bit of time. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at this thing. We'll walk around it and see how it looks now after we got all 4 hubcaps on it. Tires are a little dirty now, but let's take a look. So we did get the motor kind of tuned up a little bit. It runs pretty good. I heard it stall back there though.
Yeah, I don't know if that was me or who was trying to get it going.
Oh, okay. But yeah, yeah, it looks a lot better. I mean, wish we had hubcaps all like that one. But no, this is what we got. So it's all together. Kind of on this pocket thing, just a little idea for you guys, because the pocket was hanging way out. If you watch the other videos in this car, sometimes you don't want to take the door panel off because you're worried about the condition of the door panel is so bad that it might just crystallize and fall apart. So what we did is we just took some, we got some Velcro and just put it in here so that it kind of holds this thing in the right position so it's not hanging down. And then, you know, people getting caught on here. I don't know where the door handle is. Somebody took it off. And I don't know if it got put back in the car. Hope it didn't get lost. But we just need the screw for that was missing. So you put that in. And then the motor's all together. It looks like crap, but runs great. And we'll maybe throw this foil tape on those holes. Yeah, or she's going to actually get pre-YouTube pretty soon, I think. But at least now she could drive it a couple miles at a time. That's it. That's all she's going to drive it for. So, oh, we have deck lid rubber. I forgot. Yeah, we have deck lid rubber for it. So maybe we'll throw that on. And then, yeah, look how much better it looks. Look how much difference. If you saw the videos in this car before, the condition of the paint, everything's not bad. Just needs the hood repainted. You know, even if it's, you know, it's still kind of yellowy, you know, kind of worn, the paint is, but it looks cool. It's not the original color. The original color was beige. We don't know which one. She said it was beige, so I don't know. I guess her daughter wanted it white, so that's how that worked out when she took it over, and she had all the dash painted. But it still has all the original rubber, which is weird. The original German 1967 rubbers on this.
These are normally gone. These are in sheer shape.
And usually, yeah, these things are just still there, you know. I don't think they've been replaced.
Yeah, those are originals.
That's original. So it's really rare that you see one. The channel is in good shape still. The window channel here. So no dings in this. It's really pretty amazing. Other than the chrome, well, I had people comment on the chrome. She's all for putting the chrome back on. So that'll be happening like later, you know, as of course time and money comes around. But at least we want to make it a driver for now, so it's a driver and she could drive back and forth to the meetup group on Wednesdays. So look at the inside. The sun's got on a little bit more. There's still a little wrinkle here. It'll actually kind of shrink as over time, but you could actually take a heat gun and go over that a few times and then shrink down and get rid of it. But we're not going to bother with that. We're just going to make it like that. It looks great. It looks clean. You know, I'd ride the hell out of this. It'd be great. So, and it runs good. Everything works. The gas gauge is a little iffy. You know, the cable needs some lube. But you have to take the, you know, the cables aren't available. You can't replace the cable itself. You have to find a used gas gauge somewhere. So you have to kind of really finesse those things and make them work. But yeah, that's it. So that's it for the updates in the car. We're gonna call it good right here. We're not gonna do any more to it other than just a couple little things we're gonna do. We got a deck lid rubber. We'll put that on, and then put the cover up those preheat holes. All right, talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and share this anywhere you want. Please share to comment. We really like to see the comments on the video. Comments really help. Any kind of comment really help the video become searchable. People can find it then. So somebody looking for 67 trying to find